viewers. Good morning, Facebook Nation. Good morning to everybody that's out there. And it's afternoon. It's like 1:30, but it's been a busy morning. Sometimes you have to figure some things out, and sometimes it takes time. But I think I'm on the right track. So I'm here, and I want to share this with you. And it all boils down to you, the viewers out there, because you're just as important to me as I am important to you. We are in this together. We go through the same things, just different situations, but we go through the same. But the thing is, the answer is still the same in any situation. So this morning I want to talk about coincidence and how there are no such things as coincidences. And I want to start out with Denzel Washington in the movie Deja Vu. And in the movie Deja Vu, um, uh, Denzel, he plays a police officer. Now the police officer, he ends up arresting this guy who the police are looking for. He ends up on death row, but he says something to Denzel, and this applies to all of us out here, and it goes again with coincidence. He says, "I'm not done. You think this is the end? I'm not done. I'm coming back for you." And Denzel's like, "Yeah, yeah, right. You're gonna fry, and that's the end of it." But as time goes on, this guy would always sing this song and sing it to Denzel. So then he would be in different situations, and it would be different people who he would encounter, one not knowing the other, but all of them had that song in common. They'd all sing this song at different times. So in the beginning, he was like, it's a coincidence. Hey, that's just coincidence. Nice song. I remember this guy used to sing that. But when then ended up happening, he realized that this man's spirit was jumping into other people. So that's where Jesus Christ says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." That sometimes people can reach such a low point that they allow this negative energy to get inside of them, and they cause you harm, or cause drama, or what have you. They'll cause it to you, and it's no fault of your own. But the thing is, hurt people, and this is what we're faced with. So jealousy, it could be hate, it could be everything. We're seeing it so much that it goes back with something I said a few months ago in one of the casts, which was Moses and the guide stone. How he would get one piece from this person, he would get one piece of the puzzle from that person, and all these people never knew one another. But at the end, Moses still didn't come out with a complete answer, but he had enough to know what he had to fulfill, even though he didn't have the solution. Because remember, he couldn't go into the promised land with the people. And that should say something to all of us, that there's a better place that's for us outside of the existence that we have here. So since we're on the track of Denzel Washington, Training Day is a perfect example of it. Training Day is the same thing. It's a cop and another cop, and if one cop is just starting out, but he has a conscience. This man has light, and he knew that he wasn't going to be corrupted. No matter how corrupt Denzel got with him, he still did not become corrupt. It was something that was inside of him that remained good. And that's the same thing that we encounter. We have to remain good. We have to remain in that light, because again, we're up against unforeseen forces. So, it's not to say, hey, everybody's walking around on the planet Earth demon possessed. No. It's almost like a scenario, since we're on this criminal aspect of looking at things and how they apply to normal people. Um, if we look at people who get in situations, we're case in point. We'll go to real life now. We look at January 6th. How many of those people look at the video, look at what they were doing, and said to themselves, "I don't know what the hell came over me. I don't know what the hell came over me." And a lot of those people are out there. Some of them are keeping demons in them, and that's what some people do. Some people will willfully allow these things to get inside of them and remain there, set up camp there. So you got to remember, And according to Jesus Christ, two men, each one of them had 1,000 demons inside of them, because 2,000 of the swine ran off of the mountain. They asked to go into something else to kill themselves. So, when people look back after their action, they say, hey, what came over me? That's where those entities come in. And when they come in, and now you're facing life in prison, or you're facing, a serious situation, whether it be on a job or being in a relationship and marriage, and you say to yourself, man, what did I do? What was I thinking? So now you understand that process and understand that nobody is immune from it. But what we can do is protect ourselves from people out here in this world who are letting them in. Not 1,000, but 10,000 evil spirits to come in and take them over. And it goes again back to coincidence. The reason I chose coincidence is because, if you listen to the video, then you'll see that there's a timeline. So, something I experienced a few years ago, I get to tell my story now. And when it was happening, I was like, how creator, how could you, let this happen? I try to be the best person I can be, why me? And I understood through that time that it was my light that was being tested. The creator knows that evil's coming at you, but he wants us to know also how you respond, because your reward is far greater when you leave this right here, which this earth is a training ground. And it's a training ground for you to go to something that is infinite, and it's going to be forever. So we have to stand true in our light, because that's the most precious commodity that we have as human beings on the face of this earth, which is our light, which is constantly being attacked. But to now go back to coincidence, I didn't understand back then. And then when I got up today, it was like, this is what you've been waiting for. You get to tell your story now, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it except either dispute it or settle with it. And again, I want things that are on the record, not so much as for what I had to go through, but for what others will go through in the future. Remember, bad people don't stop. They won't stop. They can't stop. People who allow such evil to get inside them, they cannot stop what they're doing. They're not going to. So you're going to see these people reoccurring. And that's a situation where you say to yourself, you didn't see someone in a long, long time. You didn't see them. And all of a sudden they pop up. Time passes and they're like, hey, let me get in touch with you. Let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, man, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. But where time and patience comes in, you step back and you say to yourself, if we were that close, then why didn't we stay close all the way through? So when you realize those things, you're not so quick to say, hey, yeah, call me up. Because when people do that with me, I'm not going to hanging out with you. If I'm not around you, there's a reason why I'm not around you. And if you've already had peace within your circle, you have to remember that peace is never going to stop being a challenge. Your light is never going to stop being a target, because you have light. So with me, like I said, I'm happy, but it also explains coincidence and how coincidence, there are no such thing as coincidences. Those coincidences are things that are building up to either something that's going to be positive for you, or they're going to be negative. But the thing is, use time and patience and everything and step back. Because remember, the devil is a salesman, and the devil wants to sell you something fast. Wants to sell you something so fast, whether it be love, wealth, success, everything. Wants to sell it to you so fast you never get a chance to read the fine print. And then when things are starting to fall apart, and then he holds up that contract and say, yo, did you read this? Did you read this fine print right here? So, it's like that in everything that we do in life. Remember, anyone that you as a human come in contact with, it's a give and take. So if you know that these things are a give and take, then you know yourself and what you're willing to give as well as willing to accept. It makes things a little bit easier on all of us and all of you, and it allows you to be the best person that you can be. So I know I was a little bit off, a little bit here and there. You know, this is something where you should really, really listen to it again, because what is in this video is basically saying what's going on in the world around us and how it directly affects you and your circles. And this is why we're here together. We're here to strengthen one another's light. You know, this is why I've been here doing this like the fifth video, putting it in, and it was constantly getting like deleted. So I had to go into my different software that I bought. So hopefully, you know, we don't run into these problems, because again, it falls into all the people out there who are starting to get hacked. Now that everything is over the internet, hacking is everything. But here's the hacking that you pay no attention to, and I want to leave you with this. Some of the hacking that you might be experiencing could be from the place where you work. It could be from your doctor's office. It could be from an attorney's office that you might have. It can be from, you know, a light and power company. It could be from any company that you might be involved with. And it's not so much to have use information against you, although that's the end goal of it, but it's to have that information to use against you. So, you know, we have to realize that, you know, all this technology that we're seeing out here, there's a drawback from that, you know, and we're seeing it more and more. And, you know, the hacking that is going on now, they're taking millions of dollars. I think the one I saw yesterday where just in mass, over the internet, mass that these people didn't even have. It was two guys. They made $317 million. How do you do that? You don't even have the mass. You have no company. So now when we say that, you know, if it's your doctor, say, you know, your insurance company, say you were involved in an accident, and this is a good one for it too. Say you were involved in an accident. Now, you know that the other person was at fault, but the other person has an attorney also, and they have investigators, and they all have all that new Skyware or Skynet, whatever they call it, all that new software where they can just sit outside your house and just completely go through your phone. You know, so, you know, be aware of the things that are happening and that's around you, as well as, like it goes again, lastly, with things that are unforeseen forces. So we're up against a lot. And, you know, now even your privacy is not private anymore. So, you know, and then with doctors, you know, they can be hacking into you just to see if you got health risks. If you get on the phone and you're telling someone, hey, you know, I just, you know, had this and I'm having chest pains and everything else, and you got a life insurance policy or something, you know, affecting it, insurance from a company, a corporation, or a manufacturing plant, and you got hurt on a job, they're listening, because it's just that easy now. And I just put a new VPN spyware in the phone, and those things mean nothing, because I had to go through and wipe all this stuff out again. You know, but all the information I got to transfer to an account that nobody has, I never use it. So my information is pretty much safe. But, you know, be wary of what your interaction is over this internet. Be very wary of what you're saying over this internet, because it could be your job listening to you every day, nonstop. So with that, everyone, have a good day. And remember, there's no such thing as coincidences. And sometimes when you run into things and you haven't seen them in a long time, or, you know, something happens that comes back from like the past, you know that you've been tracked, you know. So stand firm in your light. Let's all stand firm in who we are, because again, if you are truth, then you have nothing to hide, and you can stand up to anyone. It's the ones that are hiding are the ones that are the cowards. So you have to realize the devil himself is a coward, because he doesn't come and face you face to face. He goes after weaker individuals to carry out his ultimate goal, because he doesn't care about those people. He cares about you, because you're the one that says, hey, I'm not falling for you. I see what you're doing, you know, and that's not going to change me. I'm still going to try to be the best person I can. And that's what we all have to do. Try to be the best person that we can. We can't be perfect, because nobody is. but we can, be true in our light and appreciate the happiness that our higher power gives us when we're allowed to have happiness and peace in our lives. So with that, everyone, have an awesome day. Have a beautiful day. And peace and blessings to everyone that's around the world, all people, all races, all colors. Again, we are all belong to one family, and that's the family of humankind. So have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings.